And I'm so glad that I put in that work with my partner to do this course because honestly, it's really helped in so many areas, not just our business, but our marriage.
My name is Simon.
And I'm Cece.
And we are the owners of Finderz Keeperz. Our communication skills before we took the course, I would say, was good. But I noticed when in business, since we work together, we're a married couple, things would get hectic or deadlines need to be met. Under those type of pressures, communication between us would not go as planned or there'll be lack of. That's pretty much how it is. It's in business, you're always gonna get things like that. And we never knew how to connect during those times. Some of the things that we learned during the course that we will be using going forward, listening. That's a major point that I know I've personally struggled with while communicating, especially with my wife and my business partner. When you're in a leadership role, you just want to take control and say, this is how it's supposed to go, this and that. When you are there's always a time where you could be wrong, and she has wonderful ideas as well. So that's something that we are working on together, just to better our business as well and in our relationship.
Yeah, I will go ahead and add that. Another thing that we're implementing in our daily lives that we learned from this course is just being more self-aware of our own communication styles and how it's perceived by someone else. A lot of times, I'm saying something and maybe I'm frustrated and I don't intend to come across as being frustrated, but that's how my communication is being told to him. And he's like, get it together, stop. Or it's not going over the way that I think it is in my head. So just being able to kind of pause, take that break and be like, what really am I trying to clearly communicate? And how can I do this in a way that he's gonna understand it the best way? My experience going through the class was super easy. I loved how clear it was. There was never a time where I felt like I needed to be like, I don't understand what is happening. And I think in a lot of times when you're taking these courses or experiencing something at work, right, you're given these courses that you have to take in order to have that next communication step. Those continuing education courses at work, a lot of times you have to take these, but you don't really understand what is being said or understand the information. So how can you really retain it and implement it in your daily life if you don't understand it? I felt like it was super easy. We both loved that there were so many examples and kind of real life examples where you can see how someone else is reacting to a tone or, being frustrated at something, and through their body language, they're communicating it. Just being able to kind of understand those little innuendos, I think really helps.
Yes. And it's only 2 hours. so everybody can have time to do
Exactly. And you should make time to do it. The reality is if you want to continue to grow and be better in any area of your life, you have to put in the work. And I'm so glad that I put in that work with my partner to do this course because honestly, it's really helped in so many areas, not just our business, but our marriage. And that's awesome.
Yeah.
I've definitely experienced differences in my communications, especially when it comes to apologizing. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I have a really hard time apologizing in an effective way, right? A lot of times I caught myself being like, I'm sorry that you felt offended, but that's not the right way to apologize. There was an incident the other day where I really had to think about what my actions were and how I offended my partner and communicate that in a clear way. And it was an uncomfortable time, but he even said, thank you so much for kind of coming to me. I know that was really hard for you to do, but also it's helping us communicate better and it's really helping our relationship.
The changes that I've experienced while taking the course, again, listening. We've been together for so long where there are times where I don't listen to not only her words, her body language, and just notice that she needs to express something, whether it's within our marriage or business.
One of the things that we had talked about was just assuming, right? Yeah. We've been together for almost 21 years, so naturally there's so much about our types of communication, how we communicate, that we just assume, or we assume, I know that this is what you're going to want to do or how you're going to like it, that we're not really listening to the other person. Yeah. And so really just taking into account that really I need to listen to what you're saying, not just maybe what your face is saying or what your body language is saying. I need to hear what you're saying and I need to respect that and give you that space. I feel like we're definitely going to use all of the skills that we've learned in this course going forward in our business. In terms of when you're talking to other people, sometimes you just don't know them, right? Maybe it's just like, hey, I've got a project for you and I want to see how you can blend in on this project or help me out. So just being able to listen, see what that person is really wanting from you and how you can actually add value to that. I think that's the biggest thing for me.
Also, the biggest thing for me would be asking questions, or there's conversations that I may be talking to important people and I may not know what they're talking about, or it was always a fear of me just being seen as someone that's maybe doesn't know as much as the other person. So to conquer that and saying it's okay to ask questions or to even approach someone, and just knowing that I do have something to offer. And I think that's a fear that some people do need to get over, and knowing how to communicate that and just being presented more with confidence. This is something that the class that I would take from it and move towards my business. So
yeah, definitely one of the things that I liked about the class was there was a point where Marcus says, you know, silence is golden, right? And it sounds like everyone says that phrase, but at the same token, sometimes it's okay to just not know what to say or what you have to add. You don't have anything to add to that conversation, right? So it's okay to just take that pause and say, well, I really don't know what that's about. Can you educate me on that? And that's key, right? Because I think it just is transparent. It also allows you to understand what the other person wants from you and how you can actually help each other in whatever capacity.
I would definitely suggest for other business owners to take this course, just for the fact we think our communication skills may be so great, but in reality, we could always improve in everything. Constantly. This is a practice. It's not something you're going to get overnight. Right. I'm still practicing to listen. I'm still practicing how to communicate. There's times where my wife has to stop me and tell me, you're talking too much or for too long, or they don't really need to know that stuff. But I'm passionate about a lot of things, but I need to know when to hold back. Because I don't want to lose my listeners or the person I'm talking to, the audience. So this is a way for me to realize that, to practice that, and just to elevate not only our business, but our life together. So yeah, I would definitely recommend this class for you.
Yeah, 100%. I would recommend this to all the business owners in my life. And honestly, just everyone as a whole. The reality is communication is something we do every single day. But a lot of times we don't practice that skill. We just think we're so great at it. And the reality is if you kind of just practice it and you sharpen those skills, you'll be excellent at it. I would 100% suggest for married people to take this course. Honestly, it's really helped our relationship. As I mentioned earlier, you know, there was times where I have a hard time apologizing, right? So it's really helped me kind of just take ownership of my own actions and how that may be perceived by my partner and being respectful of their feelings. I think respect is huge in any relationship, and it's definitely given me not more respect for my partner because I already had that, but just more being more in tune with what my partner is asking from me. The reality is we want our relationship to thrive, and like anything, you have to put in the work. So I'm glad that we're doing that.
I would also definitely recommend this to married couples, just for the fact I know as a man, sometimes we don't always listen to our wives, but also we have feelings too, and we need to learn to just also tell our wives to communicate, to let them know how we feel, or maybe there's a situation where they may make you feel a certain way, and to just realize it's okay to communicate those feelings, to be comfortable expressing yourself, and just do it in a healthy way. And yeah, it's just gonna go benefit you for a long run and give you a happier life, a happier marriage.
I would say that this course not only has helped us in our business and in our marriage, but also as a parent. The reality is because we're business owners, we work from home, our child is with us 24/7. He's not in any sort of daycare, so that's always a challenge. Just being able to kind of separate those things and also give him what he needs and give him his time. I think it's made us listen a lot more and be in tune with what he's saying, because the reality is he's 3 years old. His communication skills are not as sharp as ours. So really it's us kind of leaning into what he is not doing and being able to kind of be like, okay, I get what you need from us.
I noticed just a lot of creators, they have a hard time communicating about what ideas they have, or just approaching the right person. This is definitely a class that I would definitely recommend. It would definitely help you hone your skills, to give you more confidence. This is not a waste of time, a waste of money. This is something that is beneficial because you're gonna need to communicate through your whole life. And this is something that I think a lot of entrepreneurs do not put more emphasis on. It's more of how to get money, how to just be better at a craft, but they just lose sight of the communication part, and that is a huge part.